Good Friday morning, and welcome to this week's edition of Sean's Picks of the Week. We went with a theme of Fantastic Savagery Week, inspired by the recent release of Gods and Masters Imperial Faction Primer by Calvin Thompson. Calvin's a local here to the Denver area, a guy I met at a couple of conventions, and he's delved into Savage Worlds development with this project. So let's go ahead and get on with it. Gods and Monsters Imperial Faction Primer is very much Calvin's expression from his world-building abilities, and he is a world builder first and foremost. There's some very interesting socio-political elements to this setting that make the experience compelling and challenging. There's a little bit of Romanesque kind of aspect to it, but with fantasy and lots of different species. This is both an introduction to part of the world of Ratonic and a full-on adventure with seasoned pre-gens ready to go. So this is a way for you to delve right in and see if you like the world or not. What starts as a routine criminal investigation quickly escalates into a death trap. Welcome to the world of Ratonic, a land where the gods once walked, humans live side by side with the reptilian Anir, and immortal rulers keep the land embroiled in eternal war. This one looks pretty interesting, folks, and if you're looking at expanding your savage fantasy, this is going to be one you want to look at. The next day, we looked at Pinnacle's own Lankhmar, Savage Seas of Newhon. The quest for adventure that is Fantastic Savagery Week brings us to the Savage Seas of Newhon, the latest entry in the Swords and Sorcery triumph that is Pinnacle's Lankhmar line. No one loves classic pulp like Shane Hensley, and he's brought Fritz Lieber's strange and exciting world to life with a team of brilliant writers, artists, and others. Of course, Savage Worlds is the perfect system for pulp fantasy adventure, so this is a no-brainer across the board. This one is very much focused on a part of the world of Lankhmar. The city of 7,000 smokes, danger lurks down every dark alley, sinister sorcerers summon terrible forces in their crumbling towers, treacherous rogues of the Thieves' Guild prowl the plaza of dark delights, assassins from the Slayer's Brotherhood work the Tenderloin district, and hunched figures skitter beneath the streets waiting for their chance to rise. So this is just an expansion of the entire Lankhmar City of Thieves line, and a really great entry into that. And if you want a little bit of Newhonian piracy, well, this one's going to be for you. The next day, we take a look at Forces of Light, a Savage Guide to Heaven. This one's from David Jarvis, and a companion product with Codex Infernus, the Savage Guide to Hell. These books are not necessarily standalone setting stuff, although you could totally build a campaign out of either or both. They're meant to be layered onto any of your games in which the forces of heaven and hell might be a part. So this is very much a pair of books meant to add the fantastic and mythic aspects of angels and demons and all of that. I mean, just look at that cover. Wow. That is some pretty impressive stuff right there. Where there's darkness, there are those ready to stand against it. Forces of Light, the Savage Guide to Heaven, is the companion book to Codex Infernus, the Savage Guide to Hell. The mysteries of heaven and its guardians are revealed in the supplement, allowing you to play angelic beings in the war to save Agaran or in your own campaign. There is a campaign setting kind of thing in there if you just want to go headlong into that. So both of those are a thing. New angelic races developed using rules from the Superpowers Companion. New hindrances and edges, weapons crafted in Heaven's Forge, new divine rituals, and a whole bunch of other stuff along those lines. Moving on, the next day we look at the Polish powerhouse publisher Gromel. Beasts and Barbarians is a paean to all the great tales of powerful warriors, strange magic, and a brutal world of savagery, and arguably the best expression of that for Savage Worlds. The Steel Edition is a powerful update that sets the stage for your entry into the entire Beasts and Barbarians world of products. Summarized descriptions of the lands and history of the dominions, accurate descriptions of the various playable cultures, including clothing, religion, technology, and so on. More than 40 new hindrances and edges to create sword and sorcery heroes. Specific gear, custom-made arcane backgrounds, and a whole bunch more there. But this is very much your you know what? I want to go to full-on Conan with Savage Worlds. These guys get it right. Finally, and not surprisingly, is the Shaintar line, which is currently published by Savage Mojo. This is my first entry into writing and developing for Savage Worlds, my epic high fantasy adventure. This is a journey I started in 1977. It represents my first major Savage Worlds work. Now in the capable and loving custodianship of Savage Mojo, the entire Shaintar line is a massive repository of epic high fantasy material. Whether you use the world or just adopt all the game mechanics development for your own fantasy gaming, Shaintar can be a vital part of your Savage library. There's some examples of stuff. 11 distinctive races with many specialized racial edges for each. over 60 new edges, including professional combat and power edges, expanded options for magic, including applications for sorcery, extended casting, and more, new expanded rules for alchemists and artificers, and a whole bunch more. So, I mean, this is very much designed for, as is on the tin, as they like to say, epic high fantasy. This is the first book in an entire massive line, by the way, that I started, but Savage Mojo completed and is still continuing to publish material for. So there it is. There's our fantastic Savagery week, and I hope that you will enjoy taking a look at all these fantastic products to expand your fantasy gaming in Savage Worlds. We'll see you next week for a whole new theme.